To introduce myself again, I'm Abhishek Das from Bangalore, and I work as a software architect at Sourcing Express. We are a HR tech startup for, and what we are building is a platform to bridge the gap between opportunities and talents, and a new way of looking at talent matchmaking and talent acquisition strategies using the graph, right? And at the end of the day, unlike other platforms, we want to focus on actual human resources, which is going to drive our society forward with upskilling programs that are relevant to each persona. Say I'm a backend developer and I'm aspiring to be a good backend developer, so I would be able to take courses from mentors who are good at backend development. Then also, we want to build a community of builders who aspires on building on cutting edge technologies like Neo4j, and that is why we are here. So, uh, we before starting to even build Sourcing Express, right now we are in the complete beta stage, or you can say pilot stage. We don't have a public release of of our software yet, or our platform yet. It is currently in development stage, and we had to take some decisions like a database. So for that database, we have a wish list, which I've put on the slide. So our database should be a NoSQL database. It should be a graph database because we want to take advantage of the graphs. Then in the data, the relationships should be a first class citizen. It should be asset compliant. The database should be enterprise grade. We don't want to go with any database which just like comes like 1 month ago, 2 months ago, or 1 year ago, and we just want to hit production with it. So having an enterprise grade database is important for us. Then based on what data we have, we want a good tool which can easily visualize all the data we have in our system, or what's stored in our database. Then Gen AI features are a non-negotiable thing of today, because databases are really competitive right now. Every single database is boasting Gen AI features, and for our use case also, Gen AI features are a must-have thing. So again, that is also something part of our wish list, and we also need custom procedures that we can run on the database, so that if I have to do anything which like triggers, or say something which is automated, or or my database have to integrate with some other system, so it should be able to do that. And most important thing about any product or any software we use is the community that it brings with it. So having an active community is pretty important to be assured that if suppose any issues are coming up, so we have a community to work with and resolve those issues. And at the last of the list, what we need is a GraphQL support for our database to query our database with ease. So that is the reason we chose Neo4j, because it checks all the boxes out there. Whatever we wanted, it's what Neo4j brings on the table. And additionally, Neo4j has added good support for graph data science, low code, no code visualization, queries, and systems like KeyMaker, which everyone should give it a spin if they want to do something, if they want to build recommendation engines or some APIs very quickly using their existing data. So Neo4j KeyMaker is a must-try tool. So that is a basic reason we are going with Neo4j. So coming to today's agenda, we are going to create a free Neo4j account, create an AuraDB instance, connect with our AuraDB instance which we created, build a full stack app using Next.js and Neo4j, and explore the tools that we can use to connect with the database, query our data, then visualize it, And at the end of the day, we are going to deploy whatever we built on Vercel. So you can have a public link of your application which is running and it's connected. You don't have to spin any server, any virtual machine. Your database is also fully managed by Neo4j, and your application is also running on serverless infrastructure. So uh, so again, welcome to Notes 2024, and thank you so much for tuning into my session. Let's get started. So to build our application, this is going to be our recipe: a free Neo4j account, Node.js runtime and Bun runtime, Next.js app which we are going to be installing from scratch, AuraDB instance which you should be creating after having a free account on Neo4j. Then GraphQL toolbox is a tool which we are going to use for some queries and also to introspect our schema, and a few more Neo4j libraries, a Vercel account, and a GitHub repo. All right, so let's get started with it. All right. By the way, who all are here? So Siddhant, Teddy. All right. Let's get rolling. Again, this is a code session, so make sure to grab your coffee. Otherwise, you might be feeling sleepy. But I'll try to keep everyone entertained. So first we come to our projects folder. Let's create a empty directory. Node stack POC. All right. Let's pull up our VS Code. So yeah, we'll be pulling up some commands. So if you go to type Next.js, you will find the install command. That's the same what we are going to run here. The next create. Awesome. So we have our Next.js installed. So instead of instead of doing an npm run dev, what I'm using is a runtime and a package manager called Bun, which is pretty famous now. So you should get Bun on your system also if you want speed. Otherwise, you can also stick to npm Node.js and the npm runtime. But at the end of the day, you should really have Node installed on your system, regardless of which runtime you're using. So there's a simple command, just like a one-liner command to get the Bun runtime, because it's a good package manager overall. And that's what we use to quickly chew through, getting on Node modules inside. And after that, I'll just do Bun def. See. All right. Stack POC. Oh, here I am. So after that, we are going to install few libraries. Before we install additional libraries, what we are going to do is visit our application. but I guess I have a few more applications running on my system. So I'm going to kill them. Sorry. Yeah, my mug space was kind of untidy. All right, we have our application running on port 3000. All right, here we are. We have our first hello world on Next.js. Now, what we are going to do is create a free account on Neo4j. So if you just type Neo4j, you can visit the home page. You can get started for free, and click on the Start Free button here. Use use continue with Google or your personal email address. Sign up for your account, and you should be able to land onto the console, Neo4j Aura console. So again, what is Neo4j Aura? Neo4j has got different versions, I mean, different variations of their offering. One is the community, Neo4j community. Then you have the Neo4j desktop, which gives you a free trial of their enterprise offering, which runs by default on Aura. You get the enterprise features available on Aura. And Neo4j Docker is also available if you want to use Docker to run your Neo4j instance on local or on production. You have that. But for today, we are sticking to Neo4j Aura because it's the serverless offering. And to create a serverless application, it's very good to stick to a serverless database, because at the end of the day, you don't want to manage the database yourself, because managing a database yourself is a very tedious task. Your database can go down. You have to scale it up and down. Scaling up and down also has a cost concern. It has uh, you have to configure a lot of stuff. So Neo4j Aura is like a go should be your go-to solution when you want to build a serverless application like what we're doing today, right? So whenever you sign up, you get a free instance of Neo4j Aura, which you can connect to easily using any driver, any place. It's super easy to connect from your browser or your application. Okay, so the moment you get into the console, it will download some credentials to your device in a txt file. What you need to do is grab those details and you need to paste them in your .env file in your root. So what we're gonna do here is create a .env file and gonna drop the credentials that we got from the txt file. Should be here. So database credentials should be added to your .env file. And after that, we'll be setting up our database first. So I'll show you around how you can connect to AuraDB and seed it with some data. So I'm just gonna go and hit open. All right. So here you need to provide the protocol. If it's running on your Neo4j desktop, it should be bold. But if it's running on Aura, so you should be using the Neo4j protocol and add your credential. But even before doing that, I guess you should be using the console preview. Actually, the previous tool would be migrated to this one, console preview, neo4j.io. So this is the new tool to carry out your operations. So here we have an organization, a tenant is there. I see my instance one, which is running in GCP Singapore. And here I can import data from various data sources. You can connect your PostgreSQL. You can import CSV and TSV files here. You can have graph models. You can create them from here. I can sketch a graph model using this tool, and also I can go ahead and do a lot of things which require little or no code to get your data into Neo4j instance using import jobs and various stuff. All right, so I'll just hit on explore, or I can just go to query. And what I'm going to do is, because my database is already seeded, I'll be just deleting everything. Detach, delete, delete, and all right. So my database is as good as empty. And what I'm going to do is seed the data with some Cypher query. So I also have got Neo4j desktop, which you can use to connect to your AuraDB. And the Neo4j browser is a very good tool to get yourself comfortable with the Cypher basics. All right. So I'll just what I'm going to do is close it first. You should see two files about movies, Neo4j browser guide, and load movie cipher. Okay, so how to get Neo4j desktop? For Neo4j desktop, you have to download it from the website. You can just Google it, and you should be able to land on the page and get your binary. So it will give you a local instance also. So I'll hit just open on the load cipher. All right. So this is what gave me the initial query. If I run it here, it's going to work on my local database and seed it. But what we are going to do is stick to our AuraDB instance and paste all the queries here and seed it with initial data. So you can see here we have created 179 nodes and so many relationships and properties. We got movie and person. And if we do a match and return n, I should be able to explore the graph. And I can do additional queries also by coming to explore. I can just say, show me a graph here. And here I can see all the relationships that are there on the database. So as I said, in Neo4j, what we get is connected data which have relationships with each other. Acted in is there. Then you have got different types of attributes that are available in a single node. If you see, you have also got non-structured data stored in each of the nodes. So these are the nodes, and then you have got edges, relationships. Other relationships store their own data, right? And you can visualize your data very easily using the Neo4j Explorer tool. All right. Now coming back to our application, here this tool is very good for connecting to my database and doing the queries, but now we have to see how to get our data into our Next.js application. So today's agenda is rendering some data using our database, doing some query, and also deploying it on Vercel. So let's try to do that. At least on my local, I don't know if time would allow to get me up to Vercel, but I'll try to make it as quick as possible on my local. So whenever you're in a fresh Next.js project, just like a completely fresh project, I've not touched anything except adding the .env file, which you can see here. I've just added the credentials. Now what I'm going to do is add the required dependencies, which will help me connect with Neo4j and show you the workflow which I am using right now in production. I hope the versions are will match. I'll just match it, whatever version is there. So there are no dependency issues coming up. Awesome. Let's install the dependencies. So what all we are adding now additionally is the wait node runtime, then GraphQL tag, Neo4j driver, and the Neo4j object graph mapper. So object graph mapper OGM is like an ORM for your Neo4j. Whatever data you have, you can just query it like an how you do in an ORM. It's kind of similar to an ORM. And what today's setup provide is two things. One is a Next.js 15 demo with Neo4j, and second is connecting with your database, and at the same time full type safety on your queries inside VS Code with IntelliSense. So that's what today's setup is going to give you. We are going to generate types using the CLI, and that's what's special about today's demo. I'm going to quickly set it up for you guys. So you just need to run this command and install the dependencies here. All right. So dependencies are installed, and we'll go ahead and scaffold our application quickly. This our layout.tsx file. We'll just clean it up for now. Okay, it's pretty clean already, except the global CSS file. I should be just removing these things. And what I'll end up with a page.tsx. I'll clean this up also. All right. There's our home page, and let's say we have an H1 list of some movies. In Neo4j. All right. And then I'll grab some code, boilerplate code, which I have generated. So in my root directory, I've created a Neo4j folder. The Neo4j folder has the Neo4j folder has a few of the dependencies which which will require to connect with the data, set up our type generation, and also maintain the schema and the types or which types are getting imported. So in my root directory, if you see the Neo4j folder which I just pasted, in the starting you'll have neo4j.ts. So the neo4j.ts should be using env values. I've just pasted it right now. It should be utilizing your process.env for importing the URI. Neo4j. Undeniable. Okay. And here you need to have the username, process dot env dot neo4j neo4j username, and here you would be having the password. So everything should come from your env file. And what this file will do is it will help you to establish the connection with your AuraDB instance. Or even if you're using your local host, it will help with that. And then we have a generate types script. which you will be running from your CLI to generate the GraphQL types or types from your schema. So where's the schema? Schema is in this folder index.ts. Here what we have done is added all the GraphQL schema that's required to represent data. To do CRUD operations on your data that's stored in Neo4j. And how did I have this? How did I have this schema? I got this schema from the GraphQL toolbox. So one more tool is what we are using for doing this. Neo4j GraphQL toolbox. So if you visit this tool, I can connect to my database, Neo4j, and I should be able to connect. I just connected to my AuraDB, and then I can hit the introspect button. And boom, it just gives you, even if I just make it empty again, if I hit the introspect again, it's going to introspect all the data that's in my AuraDB, all the data that you see here, it's going to introspect it, and it will build a GraphQL schema for you. And after you're done with it, you can just hit build schema, and you can start querying your database right away. I can just hit play and see, I can just get a top 10 list of movies. I mean, with title or whatever data I'm looking for that's available in the schema. I can do a query on that. And this tool really changes the way how I do rapid development or iterations, or to just query my database to get a JSON dump, how it will look like. So this tool is very good for doing that. But when I need it in my application, right now I don't have the introspect option. That is something which is a work in progress for me. But when you paste it, I do have a script which I made to easily generate types based on your schema to get full type safety inside my application. So now you can, now I'll show you the object graph mapper. This is the object graph mapper, which uses the driver and type definitions from the OGM type, from the schema. Type definitions come from the schema. And we have a driver. And to make it type safe, what we import is a model map. Model map is something which is coming from this file, the OGM types. OGM types is what's helping me to connect, to get that type safety or autocomplete on my VS Code. And whenever I want it, I can just hit Bunex. I'll just go to package.json. I'll change the script a little bit now. Yep. Oops. Here it is. So yes, I'll just run this npm command or node command to create my script. Bunex generate. Where is it? Yeah. Actually, you just need to run it. Yeah. Okay, so types are generated now. My TypeScript types are ready. And to keep things simple right now, what I'm going to do is update my schema a little bit. Person review. I'll just paste it from here. Type definitions. Types. Okay, actually we had the wrong schema previously.
Just to let you know, we're running over by a minute.
Yep. All right, just 5 minutes we should be here. I'll just run the generation once again. All right. So what we can do now is start doing queries on our schema. So I'll go to page.tsx, and here I can start using my Neo4j database sample. Yeah. Default is an async function, and then so I'll show you the beauty of this. We are importing movie from the Neo4j OGM. So after you have created the model map is connected to your schema, which you generated. You can do you have to initialize your OGM to start using it, and then you can create a model, create a new connect to the model using this line of code. And now you can just import movie anywhere you want in your application. So you have got movie, and when you hit type, you can do find, and now you can do an array map. So this is a div. Oops, I have to have a closing tab. Okay, good. And also you need to uh, have the types from the movie. OGM, then you have got types, index, movie type. All right, so movie is going to be movie type. And now what I can get is the title. Title could be unique. Yep. So from the movie type, all the types you can see they're connected to your schema. They're like related to your schema. And then I can do a bundle. I hope the demo spirits are with me today. Oh, cannot use GraphQL now. I wants to enter directory. Okay. Oh, this is a very common problem that everyone faces while working with Next.js. And for this also, I'm going to show you what's the solution. Uh, Nobody is able to solve it nowadays. I mean, someone did come up with a solution in the community, but still it's not that popular. What we have to do is make sure that GraphQL is an external package in your Next.js project. And what you can do is go to the Next.js config, next config.typescript, and add your config here. And this should help you to resolve the issue. And we can recompile. All right. So here you got everything coming from your Neo4j database, list of some movies in Neo4j rendered right on your Next.js with full type safety, auto type generation for your front end, for your back end, and also again serverless database experience. And what to just deploy it now? I mean, first you should be ensuring that you run build passes on your local at least, and you should be uploading this to your git initial commit. It's going to be a public repo. All right, we got our repo here. Now, what you need to do is go to your Vercel account, create a free Vercel account. Just sign up for a Vercel account, sign up using GitHub, and it should help you to import your project instantly. Vercel.com. I just add a new project. See, I have this nut stack POC. Okay, and also I call it the nut stack uh, because you have Neo4j, you can put Express, React, and Docker into it. So it's part of the nut stack family. And I can hit deploy. Oh, before deploying, you need to actually put the environment variables, which is going to connect to your Neo4j Aura. So build has passed, means we just need to now update our credentials. All the credentials need to be added to your Vercel. I'll just open Vercel in another account. Yeah. I'll just go to the settings, environment variables, and here you gotta put the key and the value. Sorry, sir, going a little over. I'm just done. It's there. It's just there. You're almost there. You just need three environment variables to make this happen. Rest of them you can use for additional configuration. And here you go. You got this, and what we can do is now do a deploy. So this deploy failed because we didn't have that environment variables in our production. So what we are going to do is go back to deployment, and we can just redeploy. And I guess this time the build is going to pass. Okay, meanwhile this build happens, I should share you the link of my GitHub repo. Just a chat. This the public repo link if you want for reference. First build always takes some time, but after that it gets really quick. All right, our build is successful, and now we can visit our public link. And here you go. We have our Vercel deployment ready to roll on this. So yeah, that's it from my end.